The record industry, 30 years ago, that's a long time ago, sold $7.5 billion annually.
One more before we hit the road.
Record albums and other products and services centered around music, according to Black Enterprise magazine. That figure nearly matches the total gross annual revenue for all black businesses combined for the same time period. So the record industry makes more money than all the black businesses in America put together. Holy shit. Black performers can leverage their status within the industry to create new business opportunities for black investors and aspiring black leaders.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction of the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
So this is why economic education is extremely important too, because what then happens is if you have that guy who does become the great rapper or whatever he becomes, if you got guys around him and women around him who know business, who understand how to leverage opportunities, who know how to become entrepreneurs, who aren't just looking to beg him for money or just get a job, then that is where empires come from, right? That's what happens. You have the person who says, "Oh, well, I can leverage it. I can go get people to come to the event," and the other person, "Oh, well, great. Then I'll set up the LLC and really set up the whole marketing plan and the whole distribution setup." Right?
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
These purposes have remained unchanged. Sports were not perceived as avenues for the black community to acquire wealth and income. In terms of an example of vertical business opportunities for the black race, sports are second only to black music, but only if blacks perceive the industry with new eyes and seize the opportunity to
here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Language art forms, American sports are uniquely and not produced by blacks.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Prescott to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They keep on the ground with Elliott.
That ain't ready for
it. It's into the end zone for the Cowboys.
Okay, yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott, 28 yards. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Zerline good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0.
The activities were designed to promote blacks as uniquely endowed with physical attributes best balanced by white culture.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline kicking away.
On the return, Tyron Johnson. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
So when you are distracted by your sports, or maybe by your music, or by your dance, then you are not a threat, right? So there you go. That this is historic. This is still true today, but it's historic. Similarly, the sport that get black
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now Carr. He finds his man complete. That's Jacobs. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. So, Charles, first drive here, a little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he's got his big tight end here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go.
Good shot.
You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
On second down, Jacobs. And he'll get it down here to the 43. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
A wild game of cryptocurrency lasted as long as 8 days, with more than 100 blacks being killed. Nearly a century later, the caucus of black legislators in Florida successfully pushed for the first time ever in monetary reparations for survivors of the hunt. For blacks, there was a direct
jet sweep. Carr backs it forward. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down. But just a simple tap pass, it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
To throw again on second down, Carr. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Won all 6 of the races at Louisville in 1907. Within a couple years.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Shotgun now for Carr. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Jacobs. And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Here's Carr. And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Now Pollard. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails, because they had it going pretty good last time too. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders have
getting bigger.
These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is.
Challenge. Let's roll.
Phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. And that is
damn.
I
fucked that up.
And it's 2nd down.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
And this throw
Good hit.
the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Play action. Now it's Carr. Open man, that's Renfro. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
This thing where he gathers a bunch of black people together, and they, I don't know exactly what they do. I guess they have fun and stuff like that, and I guess they feel like I'm so much fun that they invited me to participate as a speaker to talk about wealth building and money mindset and things like that. And I appreciate the invitation.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jacobs, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
It's called the Gaylord. We're staying at the Gaylord. Gaylord Palms. And it turns out...
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down.
So it should be interesting, right?
To throw its Carr. It completes it to Jones. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
We just finished wrapping from Severe Justice, which was a hell of an experiment for me. It's one of those things you close your eyes and close your nose and just see if you can make it through the storm. And
on 3rd and long, it's Carr.
It's about
he finds his man complete. That's
Good
Jacobs.
motherfucker.
He's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So Carr exits on 4th down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt.
My bad.
This one is no good. He missed it.
Work that voodoo on you.
Here in quarter number 2.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Work that man voodoo on him.
To begin the drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question possession. Can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Here's Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb. And he fires it. It's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward.
Please hit subscribe so that you can connect it.
Damn.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it
Reverse Madden Voodoo.
to get one more score.
Now, easy to second guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in
Come on,
you
get the
guys.
ball back, fellas.
Just chalk it up to ignorance. And I was thinking about.
They don't know what to do with it.
That Colin, as you know, in case you have been under a rock, Colin has gone through it this week, mainly because he chose not to stand for the national anthem.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
The treatment of black men is special. All the black men are shot down by the
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And they don't make weapons in the black community.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw taken in by Edwards. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
And my man was standing strong. Much respect to him. He came out with a big effort.
Jet sweep. Carr backs it forward. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I thought somebody cut that motherfucker.
Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
And thinking that what he's doing is crazy. You got to understand, he's the only one that's got any damn sense. You crazy one.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Again, it's Carr.
Ooh, good shit.
That's caught. Darren Waller, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so
Good
far.
shit.
And the Raiders have taken the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes
Pay attention to my man.
A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with 25 seconds to go, we'll see how they want to play this.
That's insane to me. That's insane.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 yards on that one. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
I think somebody saw this on my wrist. I'm not in the hospital. I'm
Final play of the half. Prescott letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and John.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Now here's Johnson. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Unless you're a hairy dude, right, or something like that, I can't kiss a dude on the cheek because the game was dead at that point. We can't have that. Now let me look at some more questions here. Jerry Parker says House Negro Central. They're afraid of losing that spot. Yeah, and that was actually
the Raider offense set to get this drive started. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought the first half, it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, you fucked that up.
To about the 31.
Appreciate it.
Just a yard in the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense.
He said they were sending another house people behind them. And that's what they do. That's the standard tactic. So you had Jerry Rice, who said something stupid.
On play action. Now Carr. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4.
The only one who really held it down, and it's kind of sad that you got to turn to a damn 80-year-old man to get this. I think he's almost maybe 70-something. Is Jim Brown. Jim Brown is one of the most authentic, real men in the history of the NFL. I mean, he's a real man. And Jim Brown said his name is like 100%. I think the reason he's lost it. So what Colin does is kind of a throwback. It's a throwback to when real black men got in those situations. When they wouldn't allow their communities to be mistreated.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down.
They didn't bow down and fear because white men.
Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
On 1st down, Jacobs. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Man, they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Then maybe it would be tougher for them to take decisive action against him. Because they're going to eat Colin up. Colin won't be playing next year. Colin won't be playing for any team. Because basically, for a black man, I think there are at least 2 things that a black man can do that will cause him to suffer embarrassing American system.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he'll look downfield for Waller. This is cool.
Wow, good shit, cuz. That's crazy.
Touchdown, Las Vegas. And most people think of
should have been the easy pick, man.
Fuck
is this nigga, man?
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field and then wham.
That's pick all day.
And you give up a big one.
Carlson on for the PAT.
I was relaxing on the sticks. Like, okay. Which way am I going for the return? That's crazy. And to add insult to injury, they let Cuz go ahead and run it on in for the 6th, though. That's what's up for you. So it's already see what Madden got in store for me now. I hope the screen ain't shaking too bad. Oh, okay. You own one?
And then at first your mother will be arguing back and forth with you. And then eventually you start winning the argument because you're really smart. One day you're going to go to work.
Oh, okay.
Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start.
Appreciate it.
You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads into bigger errors.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Prescott.
Well, that's what white people do. That's what white people do, right?
Throws right side, and that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, down at the 31. Prescott now. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him out in man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer.
Just don't lose it. Just don't lose it.
Getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Yannick Ngakoue showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
On condition of anonymity, that's how brave they are. Said that they are as mad at Colin Kaepernick.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
For the rights of dead black people. As the Bills mad at
That's going to be caught.
Stretch. Damn, appreciate it.
Taking it with an eyelash, dropped at the 1. So literally a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Elliott.
Oh, good shit, good shit, good shit.
Back to the 2. That's
got caught up.
A loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about his desire
Damn,
to take this
fellas.
back out of his game, and all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
He didn't put his hand on his chest and stand up during the play, so
Come on, this our shit.
That's equally horrific to murdering a pregnant woman. Okay.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
And then, so one thing you're saying is that you don't value the lives of women, and you're also saying that you really hate black people that much.
Prescott.
And that's the funny thing.
Swinging this out for Pollard. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard.
Appreciate it.
3-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Zerline connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
The way they see, like, he's really powerful.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson.
Ooh.
That decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
They put him in captivity and they train him to do little tricks and stuff like that.
All right, coach, we got the blaze up, baby.
They make the tiger and the elephant think that the little trainer is the boss, and he's in control. He gets out of line, they shock him, they beat him, they do whatever, and then he eventually learns what he's supposed to do. He learns how to do his little tricks.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that.
Oh, turn around, man.
Offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts.
It's my fault.
We're going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and then, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Right? Well, so the elephant or the tiger.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Well, what happens? Suddenly, the elephant becomes a threat. The elephant is what
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Over the middle, complete. That's Edwards. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
I'm not judging. I don't see that many penises.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs.
Good move.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak.
Gotta do it.
Coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
But if you do what we tell you to do, we're going to reward you. We're going to throw you trinkets and dollar bills and all kinds of stuff, right? So you join our little AAU program when you're 12 and you
not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Put you on TV and give you some women and maybe a car and maybe whatever, whatever, some liquor, whatever, some jewelry, whatever stupid thing that you think is important. And then they train you. And they train
Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning.
And they put you on display and make money from you. And so just like Farrakhan said, Farrakhan was talking about how, and I apologize for the profanity. I know some of y'all may not like it, but I don't care. I got to be me. That's the only person I know how to be. And so like Farrakhan.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
He said basically,
on 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we got a 1-score game.
Excuse me. Look at how powerful that nigga is. That's the most powerful nigga I've ever seen in my life, right? And so effectively the same way they display the big powerful animal, they display the big powerful athlete, and everybody cheers for the animal when he's doing.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Fighting him off. And
good shit.
Yard shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Good game, cuz.
I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
That's what they want from you. They're going to reward you for that, from the into eternity. But the minute you get out of line, even if it's not your fault, even if it's for a good reason, just like a tiger.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jacobs. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you talk to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break it the football, get it out. We got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs.
Oh, wow.
Down by the face mask. Here come the flags.
He's a threat to their ability to make money.
Good game, my dude. Good game, brother.
They're going to neutralize him just like they neutralized the tiger and the elephant that can stand on one leg. Ray Rice, when he went through his situation, he became a threat to their ability to make money. So now Ray Rice is neutralized. Doesn't matter how good he is. He ain't never playing football again. Ron Artest, when Ron Artest was provoked by somebody in the crowd, again, almost like the tiger who's provoked on stage and he does something because he's freaking out. Well, Ron was provoked. The white man threw something and hit him in the head. So Ron went up in the stands and beat the dude's ass. What did they do? When that happened, they issued the worst punishment in NBA history on Ron Artest that day. And they didn't do that just because the crime deserved that punishment. They did it to make a point. They did it to send a message to every other athlete in the NBA. If you ever get out of line, even if you're right, even if you're justified, if you ever get out of line, this is exactly what's going to happen to you. When Latrell Sprewell got into an argument with his coach and choked his coach, they gave him at that time, which I think was the worst punishment in NBA history. See, so basically the black man, I think in the eyes of America, is just, it's kind of this big, powerful specimen, but like a pit bull, right? You admire the strength and the beauty of the animal until the animal bites the baby, and then next thing you know, you're killing the dog. You're going to shoot it down. This treatment it's obviously not surprising. It's gonna continue. What I really think is that these brothers, that if they care about it, they support him, if they believe in what he's doing, I encourage them to not be afraid to be black in public. Don't just be black in private. Don't just send them a text message and say, "Stay strong, bro. I'll support you, bro. I can't do that, man, because my team, the owners, they be tripping over here, man. Whatever, man. Then you're not a man. Don't even say nothing. Don't even pretend like you support him, because you're not judged by what you believe. You're judged by what you do. And you're not judged by what you do when you're comfortable. You're judged by what you do when you're uncomfortable. And it's not as if standing together is something that black men can't do. They did it in the 60s. You had black men in the 1960s between Muhammad Ali and Jim Brown and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and all these real men that just stood up and simply did what was right. They weren't standing up for something stupid. They were standing up for human life. And the fact that we have people that really believe that throwing a football or dribbling a basketball or making some money is more important than human life should be very disturbing to us. It really tells you just how insane this country is, how mentally ill this society is. It doesn't make any sense. All right, I'm going to take a breather. All right, do this favor for me. If you haven't shared this to your page, please share this to your social media real quick for me if you don't mind. If there's a subscribe button, follow button, let's stay connected button, please hit that button. Also, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, please go to drboycewatkins.net. If I mention a URL, if you could write down somebody could type in the URL so others can see it, I appreciate it. You can get the free ebook at drboycewatkins.net. And also, if you want to come see us in Atlanta for the All Black National Convention, you can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. It's the weekend of September 16th. We have a long and amazing crew of people coming through, everybody from David Banner to Judge Olu Stevens, Dr. Roosevelt Mitchell III, Dr. Tyra Selden, David Anderson, the head of the Empowerment Radio Network, Warren Ballantyne just told me he wanted to come through. Zaza Ali is going to be there. Yvette Cornell is going to be there. A whole lot of people. The rapper Killer Mike is going to be there. Malik Zulu Shabazz is going to be there. We just got a long list of people, and it's going to be awesome. And we're basically going to define an agenda that is uniquely ours for the future. And in fact, we're going to launch a black political party while we're there. So I'd love for you to be there to give some insights into how we can do this effectively and make this really work for people. Now, let me look at some of your questions and see. Chris says, come on, boys. You can't try to give Ron Artest a pardon on that. He needed to be punished on that hard. The NBA had a lot of fights, but that's bad business to have players running up in the sand. But I'm not going to disagree with you entirely, Chris. What I will say is that I talked to Ron Artest, or I guess his name is like Meta World Peace now, which I didn't quite understand that. But he's actually a very intelligent, very logical person, and I think that while what he did certainly deserved punishment, it didn't deserve punishment of that magnitude. And I think also the punishment tied back into, again, just this fear I think that whites have of black men. It's like we love them when they're on the court and they're running up and down dribbling the basketballs, but when we actually are dealing with them, it's a whole new level of fear. I mean, there's, I found it so interesting. I remember one time when I accidentally got into the wrong car. My daughter and I were coming out of Barnes and Noble, And I got into the back seat of the car thinking my daughter was in the car because I got in a rental car, and there was literally a car across the way from mine that was identical to my car. And I thought that my daughter was in the car, so I opened the back door to throw the book bag in the back seat. And you should have saw this white man's face. He really, I mean, the look of terror on his face when I opened that door was hilarious. And I realized what I did. I said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh man, my apologies." You know, and he didn't even say anything. I think he was just in shock. You know, to have this black man in his back seat. Now again, maybe if I'd been white, he would have felt the same way. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Let's see. Andre says, if we are so-called Christians that have faith in children of the highmost God, where is our trust in God? I trust in God, but I think that, you know, God's waiting on us to do something too. There was a joke I heard the other day. I want y'all to tell me if y'all think it's funny. Okay, so here's the joke. The joke was, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. If you give a man religion, he'll starve to death praying for fish. Y'all get it? What do y'all think? Tell me if you think it's funny. So tell me, give me a ha-ha if you think that's funny. Okay. Willie says, hey, Dr. Boyce Watkins, the People's Scholar, you want to invite Warren Ballantyne to the Black National Convention? Yes. Warren invited himself. I love Warren. And Warren reached out to me. He's like, man, how come you don't invite me to your stuff? And I said, man, it wasn't even a disrespect thing, brother. I just didn't even think about it. I apologize. People were reaching out to me about trying to be involved when they heard about it. But Warren, I love Warren. I respect him. And I think Warren, I like the fact that Warren, you know, took a different disposition when he realized that Sharpton and all these other people were not his friends. You know, I think when Warren went through that little situation a couple of years ago, you know, I think what brought us closer together was Warren said, he said this publicly, that I was one of the few people that still took his calls while he was, you know, about to go on trial, when he was, you know, when they were trying to send him to prison. Everybody else had kind of just abandoned him. And I didn't abandon him because I just felt like, well, I'm not going to treat you any different just because you're going through it. I know a lot of good people who've gone to prison, and sometimes it's because they really broke the law. You know, it's not, and because the thing about it is that laws are so arbitrary that you can have people that are quote unquote criminals, but you know, it's society's decision in terms of who is defined as a criminal and who isn't, right? So you know, so for example, if they treated you know, underage drinking the same way they treat minor weed possession in the hood, then you would see a lot of white males in prison. You would see tons of young white males. I mean, the crazy stuff they done did or they do when they get liquored up, you know, is the kind of stuff that should send some of them to prison. But they'll never send a bunch of white males to prison. They only want to send black people to prison. That's another mechanism they use to get you. And what they do is they try to convince you that all these people are bad people and that they don't deserve to have any rights. And that's where we mess up as a society. So yes, Warren will be there. I invited Warren. I can't wait to see him there. I love Warren to death. I think he's brilliant. He's an amazing man. Christy said, what do you think about the whole Georgetown